Today's matchday programme is Chester City versus Mansfield Town, Wednesday 15th of April 1987, kick-off 7:30. This is the Freight Rover Trophy Northern Section, second leg. Tonight's match is sponsored by Freight Rover Finance, and the programme was 50p. Picture of Wembley there, the old Wembley on the front. Right, we start off with a full-page advert for Chester Motor Auctions, Unit 9, Hertford Way, Sealand Industrial Estate, Chester. Car sales, whether buying or selling, telephone Chester 383 789. Right, now we've got some words from Harry McNally, the legend. Manager's notes. Welcome to tonight's game against Mansfield Town. I am certain that you will all agree with me when I say that this particular game is as important a game as any Chester City have played in the history of the club. After losing the first leg 2-0 last week at Mansfield, we've made our task more difficult than we would have liked it to be, but we all feel that this game is still very much alive and an early goal for us could make all the difference. At this stage, I'd like to make an appeal to all supporters. Please be patient if things are not going well in the early stages, and please get behind the players right up to the final whistle. I always say that a game is never lost until it's won. Enjoy the game. Wise words, Harry. There he is. There's the dignitaries at Chester at the time. An advert for Chester's weekly newspapers, the long since well, it's gone many years ago, Chester Observer and the Chester Chronicle. I think still exists in some form. Tonight's finalists, Chester City. Challenging for the goalkeeper's jersey this term are John Butcher and Billy Stewart. Newcastle-born John joined Blackburn Rovers as a junior and moved on to Oxford United after 7 seasons and over 100 appearances for the Ewood Park outfit. He signed for Chester in '84. Billy was an apprentice with Liverpool, but was released to join Wigan Athletic. He played in only a handful of games for the Latics before moving to Sealand Road last summer. He's established himself as our first choice keeper this season, and he went on to be first choice keeper for many years after. There's also Derek Zackley, Ricky Greenough, Colin Woodthorpe, Sean London, Mark Sconce, Graham Abel, Barry Butler, the late Barry Butler, Graham Barrow, the legendary Chester player and manager, John Kelly, Milton Graham, Stuart Rimmer, what a player, Gary Bennett, Peter Horton and Brian Croft. What a team that was. There's a picture of them there. Great team, great squad. Advert there for New Balance Soccer. Put yourself in Brian Robson's boots. New Balance Soccer supplies to Chester City Football Club. Chester City players wear New Balance boots. Okay, so tonight's mascot up there. Tonight's mascot is Richard Milne from Ashton near Chester. Richard, who is 9 years old, attends the first school in Chester. His hobbies include cycling and watching Vickers Cross Golf Club. His main hobby is playing football for Ashton and Manley clubs. And when he isn't playing, he obviously watches City. His favourite players being Gary Bennett and Stuart Rimmer. Ball sponsors, 86-87. Advert there for the Cutting Room. Hairstyling for men, 25 Eastgate Road North, Chester. Mitre, suppliers of today's game ball. Then Away with the City, how to get there. Notts County, Saturday 18th of April, kick-off 3 p.m. There's the route by car from the north and from the south. Cost of stand tickets is £5.50 or £4.50. Then there's club shop news, new design, Chester City sweatshirts, now in stock. All sizes, only £10.99. Get yours now. It wasn't cheap, £10.99 back in 86-87. Advert here for Radio Merseyside. Follow Chester City with the #1 sports team. Saturday sports special, match night, sports file and sports tasks. 1485 on the medium wave and 95.8 on FM, which I think it still is. We've got another City News desk. Ball sponsors, ticket news, Southern Supporters Club, See City in action. Full-length videos of our game at Bolton are now available. To obtain a copy, send a written order to the Public Relations Department, Bolton Wanderers FC, Burnton Park. There's a bit of history. Manchester Road, Bolton, stating whether you require VHS or the beta system. Your order should be accompanied by a cheque made payable to Bolton Wanderers FC, and you should allow 10 days for delivery. A single video costs £13.50, including postage and packaging. Not cheap. Sponsorship, become an agent for Chester City. Football's fun run, something about birthday requests. Chester City FC Social Club, available for weddings, birthdays and other private functions. Also the Grosvenor Lounge for small parties. David Cross Fuel Injection and Auto Electrical Services Limited, Unit 5, Broughton Mills Road, Bretton. An important notice to supporters following a decision taken by the board of directors of this club, and with the full cooperation of Cheshire Constabulary, it's been decided that persons appearing before a court of law charged with an offence arising out of an incident relating to a football match at Sealand Road, or persons ejected from the ground for a breach of the ground regulations, which are properly displayed, will be liable to be banned from attending any further events held or staged by this football club. Yeah, they were grim times for the old hooliganism. Alan Morris, keeping industry moving. The Diva Trading Company Limited. Factory Road, Sandycroft, Chester, Clwyd. There's some match day pictures here. Freight Rover action. John Kelly scores the equalising goal at Crewe with the preliminary rounds. Gary Bennett, there, on target in the preliminary round versus Lincoln City. And Gary Bennett again heads our opening goal in the quarter-final at Bolton. Full-page advert for the Ponderosa, steak and salad. There's a great deal for everyone at the Ponderosa, 88 to 94 Gate Street. Now, information about the Freight Rover Trophy, Chester and Mansfield. It's basically information about the games that the two clubs have played against each other in recent times. With a picture there, Graham Barrow heads in City's equaliser at Wrexham to force extra time. Yes, we all remember that one. Advert for the Evening Leader, Chester, Mould and Wrexham. Advert for Freight Rover again, Freight Rover Finance. Professionals in business user funding for Freight Rover Sherpa. Yeah, remember those vans. Freight Rover Trophy, facts and figures. Route to the Northern Final. Chester City, preliminary round, Group 2, Crewe, 1-2-1. First round, and then Preston they drew 1-1 with. Then so they went through on that one, top of the table, 3. First round, Lincoln City at home, drew 1-1 after extra time. Chester won 5-4 on penalties. Then the quarter-final, Bolton Wanderers away, 1-2-1, attendance 3,900. Then the semi-final, Wrexham away, 3-1 after extra time, Barrow for Zackley, the penalty, and Rimmer, attendance 5,662. Yeah, I think lots of people remember that night. And then Mansfield got to the Northern Final, in preliminary round, the Group 8, Halifax Town, at home they drew 2-2, Rotherham United away, they drew 1-1. They got through. First round was away at York City, 1-0. Quarter-final away at Bury, 1-2-1. Semi-final at Middlesbrough, in front of 11,754 fans. Good crowd. Tonight's sponsors, Freight Rover Finance again. Next game at the Stadium, or Sealand Road, as most Chester fans used to call it, is Monday 20th of April 1987, Wigan Athletic, kick-off 3 p.m. Chess, car, van and minibus hire. Parkgate service station. Tonight's finalists, Mansfield Town. All the players there for you Mansfield fans. Basically, there's Kevin Hitchcock, Andy Beasley, George Foster, Mike Graham, Gary Pollard, Tony Kenworthy, Paul Garner, Mark Kearney, Jason Danskin, Tony Lowry, Kevin Kent, Craig McKiernan, Steve Chambers, Neville Chamberlain, wasn't he the Prime Minister in the war? Keith Castles, Neil Watmore, Roddy Collins, Ian Stringfellow, David Hodge, Nick Anderson and Simon Coleman. Followed by an advert for Woodland Furnishing, Grove Arcade, Wilmslow. All leading makes of furniture and carpets. Some more pictures here, Freight Rover action. We've got Colin Woodthorpe fires a long shot in the first leg at Mansfield. Look at the crowd there. Then the next picture, the Stags defender heads off the line from Graham Barrow. And then finally, Stuart Rimmer. His shot is blocked by a Stags defender. Pictures courtesy of the Chester Chronicle. Full page advert here for BNFL, the big employer in Chester at the time, alongside a city rich in history, a company enriching the future. BNFL Capernost. So here's all the stats and everything for the season. If you like stats, that's your thing. Who, when, where? Stats 1986-87. Started off the first game of the season was at home to Carlisle United, which was 2-2, with a healthy attendance of 3,425, with a team of Stewart, Glenn, Lane, Holden, Abel, Butler, Kelly, Barrow, Bennett, Horton, Graham, and a sub of Brian Croft. And then the latest game, which was, looking on there, was away at Brentford, which we won 3-1, with a crowd of 3,496. The team then was Stewart, Greenough, Woodthorpe, Fazackley, Abel, Butler, Kelly, Barrow, Rimmer, Horton, Graham, and substitute of Brian Croft. Team was pretty settled, really, in those days, as most teams were. Wasn't really big squads. Full page advert for NWS, Northwest Securities Limited, Northwest House City Road. The worry-free way to buy your next car in one easy lesson. So then we've got Chester Time Travels. Star is Born, 1979-80 season. The visit to Sheffield Wednesday on April 19th looked on the paper to be a very difficult game, with the Owls near to their goal of promotion and City without the injured Alan Oakes and John Cotton. Yorkshire TV cameras joined the 19,130 fans to view the action. That gate was actually quite low for Wednesday at the time. They had over 22,500 for Gillingham earlier that month. But we have not played in front of a bigger league crowd since. The City fans had the chance to see Ian Mellor again, and this was Ian Rush's last away game in Chester shirt. The 3-0 scoreline flattered Wednesday because our side of Millington, Rayner, Walker, Staunton, Jeffries, Jones, Sutcliffe, Fear, Rush, Phillips, T and Phillips R performed well, and it was only really in the closer stages that the Owls got on top. Wednesday took the lead on 36 minutes when Andy McCulloch converted Kevin Taylor's corner. And although Grenville Millington had to make good saves, City took the game to the hosts after the break. Probably the crucial moment of the match was when Ronnie Phillips missed an open goal after centre-back Pickering miskicked. City sent on Peter Henderson, who soon brought a fine save out of the keeper Boulder. But on 72 minutes, Wednesday clinched the game when Kevin Taylor scored following good work by Terry Curran. In the final seconds, it was that man, Curran, who rubbed salt in the wounds when hesitancy by Derek Jeffries enabled the elusive striker to round Millington and score the third. New Horizons 75-76 season. In Wrexham with the visitors to the stadium for the reversal of the Christmas fixture, which had ended 1-1. They brought with them a strong side, including the likes of Brian Lloyd, Graham Whittle, Billy Ashcroft and assistant manager Arthur Griffiths. And a good-sized travelling support helped towards make an above-average gate of 6,553. City were undefeated in their previous 16 home league games, but were bound to be fully extended as injuries and suspensions meant a weakened side of Millington, Mason, Losker, Nikias, Mathewson, Delgado, Owen, Pugh, Draper, Leonard and Crossley being fielded. This was coach Reg Matthewson's first league game since the previous October and his last ever for City. Just were soon behind as Stuart Lee netted in the first minute before many of the stand patrons had settled into the seats. City pushed forward for the equaliser, but centre backs and long servants Gareth Davis and Eddie May gave us a few opportunities to score with the 1-0 half-time deficit. Manager Ken Roberts needed to call upon his managerial experience to try and pull this one out of the fire. Wrexham, though, carried on where they left off, and with half an hour remaining, Eddie May headed home Brian Tinnion's free kick. With 5 minutes left, Reg Matthewson upended Lee and Arthur Griffiths converted the penalty. It was little consolation for City fans when Derek Draper, the late Derek Draper, who recently passed away, headed home in the last minute because defeat by our near rivals is always hard to swallow. As we've got the golden season in 64-65. And then we've got an advert here for Martin Davis, Mobile Welding in Gresford, Alloy Steel, etc. Taylor and Fairman Decorators, estimates given free. I wonder if any of these businesses are still going. Let me know in the comments, please. BRS Western, Burst, New Brighton, Wrexham, Perkins Power, Wrexham. There you go, Perkins Engines. And finally, we finish with a fairly regular advert for the time, which was Chris Courtney-Williams, Chester's own expert on fur alterations. We offer fur services, plus we can clean tint leather, sheepskin and suede garments. You wouldn't see an advert like that now, I don't think. The Chester teams that day, or that evening should I say, in goals, Billy Stewart, Ricky Greenough, Colin Woodthorpe, Derek Fazackley, Graham Abel, Barry Butler, John Kelly, Graham Barrow, Gary Bennett, Stuart Rimmer, Milton Graham and Peter Horton. Fantastic team, playing in royal blue shirts and white shorts. And the Mansfield team, in goals, Kevin Hitchcock, Mike Graham, Tony Kenworthy, Tony Lowry, George Foster, Gary Pollard, Kevin Kent, Jason Danskin, Ian Stringfellow, Keith Castles and Mark Kearney. And your referee for the night was Mr G Courtney of County Durham, the linesman's Mr D.A. Holloway with the red trim, and Mr J.T. Shaw, the yellow trim. Tonight's My Turn match ball is kindly donated by Chris, Phil, Robin and Snowy, loyal away supporters. And we finished with an advert there. The Town Links, Crosville, the first Chester to Liverpool regular express coach service. No advanced bookings needed. So I hope you've enjoyed this bit of nostalgia from a great season for Chester. Great team, good memories of that night. Chester City versus Mansfield. If you've enjoyed what you've watched, give us a like, share it, comment, subscribe. Hayden's Mini Adventures, be much appreciated, and it's all completely free. Anyway, Stay safe, take care, see you soon, bye.